Will Smith didn't like it when Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith during his set at the 2022 Oscars. Smith then walked up on stage and hit Rock in the face. Smith yelled and cursed at Rock when he sat down. Rock was shocked. Smith went on to win the award for Best Actor, but he quit the Academy because of what happened. Was it true? This and much more in today's video. Watch on to find out. What happened, Will Smith? The problem happened when Chris Rock went on stage at the 94th Academy Awards on March 27th to announce the winner for Best Documentary. Before announcing the nominees, Rock decided to make a few jokes, as he often does. He made a joke about Javier Bardem and his wife Penelope Cruz, who were both nominated for an Academy Award. He said that if Penelope Cruz wins, Javier Bardem can't win, because that's how people think women and wives act. Most people in the room laughed. He then went after Jada Pinkett Smith, who was there with her husband Will Smith, who was up for Best Actor. Rock made a joke about Pinkett Smith's shaved head by comparing her to Demi Moore's character in the 1997 movie G.I. Jane, who also had a bald head. Rock said exactly, "Jada, I love you. I can't wait to see G.I. Jane 2. Alright?" The joke didn't make Jada laugh, and it was clear that it bothered her. She has alopecia, an autoimmune disease that can cause some or all of the hair on the body to fall out. The people in the audience groaned and laughed a few times, but nothing too happy. Will Smith, Pinkett Smith's husband, was laughing when the camera first cut to him. Many people have argued about what this meant. Back on Rock, who is trying to laugh off the bad taste the camera cuts. But before he can move on, he says a funny "uh-oh," and the crowd all makes excited noises. The camera cuts to a wide shot of 6'2" Will Smith hustling, almost strutting down the length of the Dolby Theater stage, planting his feet firmly in front of Chris Rock and then slapping him hard across the face. The audience can't agree on how to react, so some laugh, cheer, or gasp as Rock gets himself back in place. Rock smiles and says, "Wow." He takes the hit like a champ. As Smith walks back to his seat, the comedian tries to break the tension by saying, "Will Smith just beat the out of me," which gets another laugh. It did not end there. But as if that wasn't enough, Smith, who is sitting next to his wife, interrupts Rock by shouting, "Don't say my wife's name." And when Rock says, "Wow, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke," Smith doubles down, this time letting his anger out as he repeats the same demand. The famous theater was the quietest it's ever been on TV, and Rock replied, "I'm going to, okay?" with some slow blinks and a head shake. After taking a moment to think, Rock looks away, then back, and says what everyone else is thinking. That was the greatest night in the history of television. Since then, thousands of memes and hundreds of articles have been made, and when I type A into my search bar, the first thing that comes up is the word alopecia. Even though millions of people saw this happen in real time, some people still say it was set up. Why would they say that? And why would the Oscars stage it? What's the big deal? It's just a joke. I've struggled for a long time to find the line between a joke and something that goes too far. But recently I've come to realize that it's true that people can joke about anything, but it's important to think about who you're telling those jokes with. And Rock's jokes were not funny enough for a national broadcast. Even though she and Bardem laughed at his joke about Penelope Cruz, it was an old-fashioned joke that he might have been better off saving for one of his Netflix specials. Then, his joke about Jada was just rude. Since 2018, Jada Pinkett Smith has been open about her struggle with alopecia, which she does not take lightly. She had said that what happened was terrifying and scary. She said that her hair was an important part of her life and a beautiful ritual. "I loved having the choice to have hair or not," she said, "but one day I might not have that choice." Since she was told she had cancer, the host of Red Table Talk has been open about it. She has posted photos of her freshly shaved head next to her daughters, talked about putting rhinestones on her head, and said that her husband loves the bald look. Some people might think that her sincerity means she would laugh off jokes about the situation, but just because someone accepts their own situation doesn't mean they're ready for others to try to fix it. Can we even tell the difference between the real and the fake anymore? People doubt the truth of everything these days, from election results to YouTubers' apologies, so it makes sense that there would be rumors about Will Smith and Chris Rock fighting at the Oscars, a show that often has sketches in between announcements. What I don't understand is how this kind of talk has turned into a real belief that the moment was faked. I thought their actions were so real that if they had been staged, the two of them should be up for awards next year. Based on how Smith and Rock were acting, I don't think this conversation was set up. The way Rock was put on the spot to ease the tension, Smith swearing on international TV, Lupita Nyong'o's eyes darting back and forth behind him, and how quiet the room got afterward all led me to believe that this fight was not staged. But this is my opinion, and I don't mind being wrong if there is evidence to prove it. But as I read other people's thoughts online and saw people trying to prove that the slap was one way or another, I started to worry that we as a society no longer believe that outbursts, fights, and other bad behavior by celebrities can be real. People make mistakes in public, and celebrities are just like anyone else. People seem to think that if a celebrity acts out, it must be staged, unless they have a diagnosed mental illness, in which case people are still skeptical. Is anything a famous person does real? Does it matter if it was real? Well, sort of. If the slap was fake, it makes me wonder about a lot of things. What would Smith, Rock, Pinkett Smith, or the Academy get out of something like this? The only thing I can think of is that the Oscars wanted attention because of how few people watched them last year. So they planned something shocking between two well-known people who would both be at the show. This was based on the famous idea that all publicity is good publicity. If the slap was faked, it makes me very sad that the Academy would use drama to overshadow the historic wins of the night, which include Coda winning all 3 of its nominations, Troy Kotsur becoming the second deaf actor to win an Oscar, and Ariana DeBose becoming the first queer woman of color to win Best Supporting Actress. Not that the Oscars are above overshadowing minorities. Also, since the show has a history of racism, the Academy shouldn't put 2 black men against each other. Or it's a great choice because it will always remind people of a conversation about race and gender that was controversial at the time. But if the slap was faked, it would mean that Smith agreed with the Academy, trying to make themselves look good, and Smith looked like the bad guy. A member of the Academy told BBC, "I woke up so sad about what Will Smith did. I thought he stole the show. I don't think that was where you should have been so violent. There were kids around. It was a place for parties. To plan a slap that would make Will Smith look like a violent black man, I find it hard to believe, especially after knowing what he's been through." Next up, we talk about the 3 craziest unplanned moments that happened live at award shows. By this, we mean Kanye West ruins Taylor Swift's acceptance speech, Madonna falls down the stairs during her Brit Awards performance, and the infamous Oscar envelope mix-up. Taylor Swift was thrilled to win the Best Female Video Award at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Most of the other people there were too. Swift's video, "You Belong With Me," won the award. Kanye West, on the other hand, was not happy. West rushed to the stage at the event and grabbed Swift's microphone. He then said that Beyoncé, who was up for the same award, should have won instead. When Beyoncé won Video of the Year, she asked Swift to join her on stage instead of giving a speech. At the 2015 Brit Awards, Madonna fell down the stairs while singing her song "Living for Love." Madonna said her cape was too heavy, so she made the bow extra tight so it would stay on as she walked in. When it was time to take the cape off, off, it got stuck in a knot. So the dancers at the bottom of the stairs pulled on the cape without realizing it was still tied around Madonna's neck. Madonna wasn't seriously hurt, so she kept going with the show like the pro she is. In 2017, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway were giving out the Oscar for Best Picture. During a long pause, Beatty stepped back. He looked at Dunaway like he didn't understand, and she told him that La La Land was the winner. The people from La La Land walked up to the stage and started to accept the award. Crew members came on stage though, and it turned out that La La Land hadn't won at all. Moonlight was the real winner. The card said Emma Stone, La La Land, which Beatty told the audience. Later, it was explained that each card has 2 copies, and someone on stage gave Beatty the wrong one. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we had for today. Well, do you believe it was staged or not? Comment that below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!